Hello, everyone. I am going to attempt to tell you everything you need to know about how to make your vote count, and I'm going to do it in under 5 minutes. I'm going to go through the lower house, the upper house, and then some general tips. So let's get straight into it. In the lower house, your ticket is going to look something like this. This is for the lower house, the House of Representatives. Now, the first tip is you must number every box or else it will not be counted. Okay, so what do? How do you know which order to put people in? Well, I'm going to tell you. First, go to the RDA website, and here you will see a red label called See if candidate in your area has filled in the survey. Click on your state. Here you will see upper house, which is the Senate, which we'll go through in a moment. But here you'll see all the lower house candidates. Type in your electorate or search your electorate. Okay, great. There is at least one candidate in your electorate that is filled in the RDA survey. You can click on this survey and you can read all about the candidate. Now that is step number 1, but of course that is not all your candidates. So next, go to majorslast.com. Here you'll see a few options, but the first thing you should do is go to candidates at the top. Click on your state. On the screen, you can see who the Freedom parties are. Now you can see based on this list here, you've got a Liberal Democrats and a One Nation candidate that we consider to be Freedom candidates and good people to vote for. Beware of the Climate 200 independents. They are all listed on this website here, which I will put a link in the description so that you can make sure that you put these even under the major parties if you want to. So keep in mind what you have already learned about the lower house candidates in your area. Now we're going to move on to the Senate. Now the Senate paper looks like this. It's a very long piece of paper. So I am going to help you know exactly what to do with it. You can see on the screen here an example of how to fill out a Senate ballot paper. The bare minimum is 1 to 6 above the line. I actually suggest that you put a number underneath every single Freedom party so that at least your vote will go to one of them. If you are communicating with your friends or family, I suggest sticking to 1 to 6 above the line. It's very easy. It's very simple to explain. But for people who want to number more boxes, I think that's a really good idea as well. So go back to the RDA survey on the RDA website. Click on your state again. You've seen this page before already. You can see here in Victoria, these independents or these Senate candidates have filled in the survey. Now, go back to the PML website, click on How to Vote cards. Click on your state, click on your electorate. Now go through the prompts. So first it asks you, which is your favorite independent or minor party in that electorate? Now, the only person who has filled in the RDA survey is the UAP candidate. And then it asks, who did you vote for last time, or which major party were you most likely to vote for? Liberal. Press submit. Now you can see here that this program has generated a how to vote card for you. You can move these around to suit yourself, and you can move these around to suit yourself as well, but you cannot put the major parties above this line because this website is called Majors Last for a reason. Now continue to the Senate. In this election, which minor party would you like to preference first? Of course, myself and my fiance are running, so I'm going to click on us. And then, would you like to vote for any of the major parties or none of them at all? I'm going to click none of them at all. Now press submit. Okay, so that is the Senate ticket. Now, in this example, they number 1 all the way through to 10. Now, you've already seen on the screen and in the description a list of all the Freedom parties. So if your state has, say, 8 Freedom parties, I suggest going 1 to 8, not just 1 to 6. Now go generate how to vote cards. Okay, there you have it. You have your lower house and you have your Senate right there. Press download PDF. Here it is. You have a lower house ticket and an upper house ticket ready to go. If you use the PML website on your phone, you can even save these images directly to your phone so that you have them ready for when you go to the polling booth. You can also generate how to vote cards for your friends in other electorates and email or send that to them over the phone. Now for some very general tips. Now, firstly, when you are writing the number 1 or 7, make sure the 1 has the top and the tail, and make sure the 7 has the little line in the middle there, just to make sure that they know exactly what number it is. Secondly, we suggest using a pen, but it is, of course, if you only have a pencil, use a pencil. You choose your own preferences. Remember that. Even if a party or a candidate gives you a how to vote card, you do not have to follow that how to vote card. With all these resources that I have just showed you, you can make an informed decision on what order you put people in. And the last general tip that I want to tell you is that a hung parliament would actually be a successful thing for the freedom movement and for human rights. A hung parliament would mean that bad legislation would not be able to pass without the crossbench and the balance of power agreeing with it. A hung parliament means that the government would not be able to keep putting in terrible legislations that takes away our human rights and freedoms. Do not be scared of a hung parliament. A hung parliament would be a good thing for this government, because in the last 3 years, it has caused so much damage that a government that cannot do anything is better than a government that continues to damage this country. So that's it, guys. You now know what to do. Thank you for listening, and make your vote count. Authorised by Monica Smith, Reignite Democracy Australia, Melbourne.